All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to our maiden edition of the TechEd UpSkill Career Path series. And so what this series is all about is we are trying to bridge the gap as much as possible between the academia and then industry. So we're going to be interviewing some professionals to help address this gap as much as possible. So subsequently, if you want to get notifications on our upcoming interviews, just click on the subscribe button and then, of course, hit the bell so that you get notifications when new videos are up. So joining us today is engineer Oyinlola Yahaya. Okay, she is joining us all the way from Canada. She works with BPTN, Black Professional in Tech Network. So as we continue the conversation, she will introduce herself much more. Welcome, madam.
It's Thank good you to so have much you. For having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you for accepting on a very short notice. So can you please just give us a little brief about yourself and maybe walk us through how you came about being into being a system administrator.
Thank you very much. As mentioned earlier, my name is Oyinlola Oluwasegun Yahaya. Currently, I'm a system administrator with Black Professionals in Tech Network. And Kingsley was a classmate back in secondary school. So
he was my classmate.
I would say that. yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. So I would say that we started this journey together, really, to tech. Yeah. True. But then for me, it wasn't always about tech. As a matter of fact, I wanted to study medicine. I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I was so into it. But then after I took my JAMB, my WAHEC, NECO, everything was fine, but I wasn't admitted. The first choice, second choice, all those choices we tick on the JAMB forms. I just didn't get an admission that 1 year. I was so hot. It pained me so much because my classmates from secondary school, those who even look up to me when it's exam time, who wants me to take them through some things, got admitted. Some of them might not get their program of choice, but they got alternatives. In my case, I didn't even get anything, so I was just home. And I knew I had to take JAMB a second time. I have to start reading for those examinations again. During this time, my mom just walked into my room one day and was like, why don't you consider computer science? And she is a chemical engineer, so she's in STEM. And she just felt, I'm like, out of nowhere, how can you tell me from medicine to just move into computer science? I'm like, they are not even related. Like, not in any way would that cross my mind, but I fought it so hard. I'm like, that would mean taking physics, chemistry, mathematics as against my physics, chemistry, biology in JAM. I'm like, where do I even start with all of that? I was already preparing for another JAM, and this woman just come dumping this on me. But the thought kept resonating with me. It kept coming, and then I had to make that mental shift to go for computer science. And I remember she added then that this new generation banks are looking for youngsters, fresh out of school, passionate, who would want to like change the tech world. And that was exactly what happened. I started my career with Skybank then, and I have not looked back in tech since then. And I would say that God knew what he was doing. Eventually, I got married to a medical doctor, and I don't envy being a medical doctor today. Like, I'm happy being in the tech space. This is home for me. So yes, wow. That's my little story to the journey into tech.
Oh, that's interesting. So you ended up being a system administrator, not a medical doctor. So right now you're not stitching skins, you're coupling cables together. And God, exactly. Having a very good sense of humor, gave you a husband that is a medical doctor just to compensate. Wow, that's exactly. Awesome. That's great. Now, looking back, because the reason why we are doing this are for people that are yet to come out of school and that are going to be in this industry. Okay, looking back to yourself like 15 years ago. Okay, what would you have done differently perhaps to get you as faster to where you are right now? Perhaps there are some things that you didn't know while you were still a student, you wish you knew while you were still in school. What are those things that you want to tell people that are yet to come out of school now?
Honestly, looking back on my journey, I would say it's been beautiful. Nothing comes to mind now to say I could have changed or I could have done, because for me, from the classroom, I was able to identify what my passion is. I ask people, what is that thing that you can do for the rest of your life without being paid for it, and you will still feel fulfilled? And last week I came across a post on LinkedIn, like 2 things that a job should do for you. You either learn or you're earning. If you have both, then you're blessed. If you have either of them, at least you're gaining something. But if it is none, then you should be out of that job. So for me, I've been learning and earning. And because I identified the part of computer science, even back in school, we had computer information system. Ours was computer science technology. And we had those that were the pure computer science students, even in school. So being able to identify which space in tech you have your passion, like the tech world is so wide, is so diverse. Even people from different backgrounds now are coming into tech. And the good thing is most of the skills that tech requires are more of the soft skills, because mostly you learn on the job. Organization A is different from organization B. If I take a system administrator from another organization now, they might not have exactly the same job description that I have, just because the industry demands are different. Someone in the financial industry would have like a different view as against someone in the medical industry. And yes, they are also technical people, they are technology people. So I would say identify what your passion is early, because that helped me in shaping my journey. I knew I couldn't code. All of my coding courses in school, I remember the days of Fortran 95, the C++, the Pascal, and the basic, all those things. I had to put in additional effort to pass those courses and get the certificates out of the way. Even at the master's level, I had to do Java, going through Java for Dummies, even though it's not really for dummies, because I had to put in the extra work to get the certificate, but I knew where my strengths lied. My strength lies in troubleshooting. My strength lies in seeing the root cause of a problem and making sure that I don't rest till it is resolved. So for me, I would say upcoming students and those who want to come into this field, identify what your passion is in the tech space and pursue it. Don't be scared of taking baby steps, because we start from somewhere and then just keep at it. And since it's your passion, whatever obstacle you see on the way, the passion will keep driving you and you are able to be better for it at the end of the day.
Wow, interesting. Now it all makes sense, because back then I know you were very passionate when we started this course, New Horizon, where we had to do A+ and network, and I saw your passion. It makes sense right now that you've said you prefer troubleshooting to coding. Okay, now I want to paint a scenario. For instance, let's assume you have 2 undergraduates coming out of college. They both have resumes, the same course, the same institution, and you are tasked from the organization to select one person to play a supportive role in system administration. Okay, what would you look out for on their resume? What is that key ingredient that you look out for in their resume to be able to select just one person out of both of them?
Okay, so if I'm going to be making selections based on resumes alone, I would see what stands out. Yes, same school, same credentials, but then personality goes into the way that we build our resumes. So I will see the soft skills in the resume building. Like, is this person driving my passion? What is the driving force? What does this job contribute to this person's life? And in an interview, I would also make sure that the questions are not so skills related. Like, I would assume that since they've gone through the same training, given the same privileges, they would do the job well. But then communication skills, are you approachable? Yes, you are a guru, you can do this, you can do that, but when people come to you for help, do they feel bad, or they're just like, oh, let me just comport myself? Are they going to check the weather before having to talk to you? Like, how do you communicate with people? Are you a team bonding person? Are you a natural team leader? Can you take on responsibilities, even sometimes without being asked? Are
Okay.
you someone that is intuitive? Like, my focus really would not be on the papers. Then something again I'll be looking for if I'm checking the resumes will be things that would make you stand out. So let's say someone has got certifications, which places a seal, like certifications are to let you know that yes, this person is an expert in this field, not just through the classroom experience. This person actually can do hands-on. Some of the certification have lab sessions, drag and drops, things that, okay, yes, this person is or can be considered an expert because this person has been certified by bodies other than the lecturers or like the classroom bodies. So that again would stand out for me.
I'm glad you mentioned the issue of certifications, like you took it out of my mouth, because yeah, that is very, very important. So you've said to us, so certification is very, very important. It gives you an edge above your competitors. Okay. Now, there's always a 6 months period that are given to students in computer science related courses to do IT. How best can they use that period, to strengthen their resume, to be well fit for this role?
I would say get your hands dirty. It's internship, meaning you are supposed to learn. Some organizations pay for it, which I'm a great fan of. Like, you shouldn't take people's time and resources without compensating them in any little way you can. But for the intern, know that the major thing internship is contributing to is to give you that experience that you are likely to face in the workplace. This time you get to have colleagues. This time you get to have supervisors, someone you are reporting to. This time you get to come to work at so time. You get your break at this time. So like they're setting you up for what the real life experience should be. So this should be the time you want to take in all the knowledge, everything you can absorb. Nothing is a waste. No, look down on no staff in the organization, even if their role doesn't depend solely on you. As tech people, we are highly cross-functional.
Sure.
We work with the marketing team, the sales, the product team, work with other teams, like they come to us for help. And then you should make sure that this team, like everyone in the organization, are working as a team. So you make sure that you are also aligning with the goal of that organization. And I would just say, get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, go all out for the learning, because these are the things that will build you up for the eventual workplace when you graduate.
Wow, great. Awesome. Thank you very much. One of the reasons why most people, especially ladies, will come to that very soon, wouldn't want to go into this role is the phobia for carrying things, physical, connecting wires, carrying systems. Those are, we know traditionally system administration role is mostly on premise. But in this era of cloud computing, how has that eased this role, the nitty-gritty of what is contained in this role? How's that helped you so far?
Well, I would say the cloud era has been very helpful. COVID, again, even though we all don't like to be sick, has brought so many insights now to the tech world. True. Like, you don't need to leave the comfort of your home before you get things done. Even organizations are beginning to realize that it's not until they have you on premise that you're able to function. We save on the cost for diesel, we save on the cost for electricity, we save on the cost for rent of the apartment, we save on so many things when you allow people to
commuting costs too.
Yes, commuting costs, so many things are saved, even the time spent, like people could make better use of their time. And I would say, as a lady, even if you are not working remotely, don't feel terrible to ask for help. If you need help with heavy lifting, I'm sure the men on the team or even some other staff members should be willing to help. It's what I do when I still had to go from one place to another doing my troubleshooting, because most times I'm on the road driving 35, 45 minutes to get to a location. Sometimes I'm eating in the car, or maybe just before leaving a particular place to another place. So like I'm tired, bending under to locate maybe where the system unit is, where the printer, the scanner, and or whatnot. But then now that the era of remote work is here, my work is totally 100%, which makes life very beautiful.
Wow,
More
interesting.
time for family, more time for myself. And then with tools nowadays, you can just do your troubleshooting. I know I was in a role that I had to create user manuals, FAQs, so that even the resident staff, like maybe the head of a particular branch or a manager in charge of a particular team who is resident in the office, can always go back to those manuals and do some things, because you find out you get to some places and under 10, 15 minutes, you are done. Some of them you only needed to maybe do a restart. Some of them might just be a paper that is stuck at a printer side or something. And you'll be like, oh, I drove all the way just for this. And then because these manuals, I attach videos, put in screenshots of what each of these things should look like. So they know exactly what they're looking out for. It took a lot of time really to come up with these technical documents, but then it's been very helpful for that organization. So I would say that whether remote or in person, try to leverage the people that you have. So if you have issues carrying heavy stuff, try to ask for help, because it wouldn't be good to be on the job and then break your back or have injuries. And then in the remote world too, it makes things very easy. And I'm happy that so many organizations now are shifting to 100% remote.
Wow, interesting. So viewers, you can hear that. So cloud computing has made things easier now for this role. Okay. On LinkedIn, probably on Facebook sometimes, you do promote BPTN, Black Professionals in Technology in Tech Network, okay, and then you encourage us to sign on that platform. You also promote some webinars that BPTN organizes. So can you tell us a little bit more why we should register on BPTN?
Well, thanks for bringing this up. So Black Professionals in Tech Network is organized to be the network gap between the Black talent and our partners. So we have a pool of partners who come to us for Black talents. And part of the things that we offer, you mentioned the webinars. Yes, we have weekly masterclasses. We have mentorship for those 18 to 24 years, I think. We have Cultivate. So we have different programs for Black talents, because we experience shortage of Black talents in companies, especially in this part of the world. And then my CEO, who is also Nigerian, would tell us that we are over-credentialized. Like, we have so many certifications, we have the BSc, MSc, some of us have PhDs, and yet still finding it hard to get noticed. So what we do for Black talent is to make sure that we are seen, that we are portrayed in the light of the true professionals that we are. And in February, we launched this platform. It's a networking platform. You can call it a Black LinkedIn, where you can truly be unapologetically Black. Like, this is home for the Black professionals. I will drop the link with Kingsley so that we can share with everyone. We are still in the works building the partner side of it, and everything the Black community can do now, the partners can come also to recruit talents directly. Like what we do now, we have to be there to be that bridge for them. But like, since the world is going into cloud, we want to automate this thing. So even while we are sleeping, even when the time is maybe 12 midnight in another part of the world, and it's not that working hours for us, the conversation can continue to go on. Mighty Tech events can continue to be hosted. The mentorship program can continue to go on, even if we are not physically present there. So that is what this platform is. And I would say that you should come on board. We appreciate your feedback as we are still building. We are learning and making updates here and there. So your feedback is also greatly appreciated as you join this networking platform.
Wow, interesting. One of the things I liked about our platform is that when you go on there, it welcomes you with some African Nigerian Gbedu.
Oh, yes.
You also have the option to turn it on. That is unique.
Yes.
That
The
is
music
unique.
is something that everyone, they're like, they just leave it playing at their background since most people are working from home now. Even people in the office, like on a Friday, they just vibe to it and they just
Interesting.
enjoy while networking.
Interesting. That is very good. Very soon, the media team will scroll the URL, the link of that site on the screen very soon. So it's a good thing what BPTN is doing back there in Canada. Okay, so raising the visibility of Black people. That is one challenge. Another key challenge right now, this is going to be the last thing we'll talk about as we make a wrap up of this interview, is the challenge that women have. I remember back then in school, the ratio of female to guys in the classroom. You all were like 6, 7
Yeah,
ladies,
we're 7.
7 compared to about 50 guys, you know. So even till now, when I still teach students in the university, I still see the same thing. I can count the ladies, you know, on my with my fingers. They're just about maybe 5:60. So we still see that in right here. Ladies, perhaps they have the phobia or they feel they can't compete favorably with the male gender. So could you please share some opportunities that are available for especially women to be able to, so that you can encourage them to jump on this field and let them know that it's not as difficult as they think.
Thanks for bringing that up. But quickly, I would like to just say that BPTN doesn't only focus on Canada. We are in North America, Canada, US, and neighboring countries, and even extending to other countries, especially African countries. The CEO is Nigerian, is a Yoruba man, so we are extending really. So coming to the women in tech, I would say that if there are opportunities for the men, double that number, triple it is the opportunities that are available for the women. A place like BPTN, once a resume comes in for a role and you are a woman and you are Black, like they are so itchy to jump on the call with you. That is what we are preaching: inclusion, diversity, and I want to believe it is being noticed now. So I would say if you're a woman and you want to come into tech, don't feel somehow that you are a woman. We are strong. The saying goes that whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. And honestly, that is the truth. Myself, when even in the school, as we were just seven of us, I wouldn't mind to get my hands dirty. I wouldn't say, oh, it's a guy thing, go for it. No, there are no limitations.
Always a group head, I remember.
Yeah. So there are no limitations except the one you place on yourself. So I would say go for it. Don't be scared that, oh, how would I compete against the man? Because we are different. That is already something that sets us apart. That is already a strength. Let us not see being a woman as a weakness. Let us see it as a strength. And honestly, we need more women in tech. There's not so many of us. And then being Black again, that is double strength. Like Black is beautiful, Black is strong. So I would say, please, we are waiting to welcome you with open hands, and always glad to be of help in as regards mentorship, as regards like shaping the things that you're finding difficult and trying to set you on the right path. There are so many amazing women in tech and would like you to be part of us.
Wow. Thank you, engineer, for the time being on this call today. It's been very, very interesting talking with you. I'm sure the viewers also will attest to that. So please, you can drop your comments on under this video on the chat forum, and you can also register on that link that will be shown on the screen so that you can do a follow-up if you want to connect with Engineer Oyinlola. You can also do that on LinkedIn also, so that the conversation can continue from there. Okay. Any last word for us as we make a wrap on this call today?
Okay, I would just say don't give up on your dreams and don't be scared to take baby steps. The person who is an expert today started as a novice at the time we all didn't know all of the things that we know now. So allow yourself to fail, to fall, but rise up again. And I would close by saying that whatever you do, commit it into God's hands. Whatever your religion is, God is over us all, and whatever we put in his hands always prospers. So commit your ways unto the Lord and it will establish your path. Thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you so much for being on the course. So commit your ways to the Lord and it will prosper all that you do. Okay, amen. So until next time when we meet on TechEd UpSkill again, I would say keep upgrading your skill. All right, see you next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you get subsequent notification. Do have a nice rest of the day. Thank you, engineer, for being on the show. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.